Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Gigi's Journey. I'm getting dressed for the day. I just put on a little bit of makeup, not much. Um, and I just thought I would hop on and talk about my plans for the day because it's Monday, the 20th of April, and right now it's 9:31. I've already showered. Now I've already put makeup on. I did put hot rollers in my hair today, but it didn't do like I thought it would do. So I'm not gonna worry about it because I don't have any plans for today. It's all good. Who cares? I At the stage of my day that I'm gonna sit here and do my planning. I've had a very productive week last week. I've gotten my brain back to trying to do good things, although I didn't really list anything on eBay. But this week is the week I will be listing. I've got my daily planner, and I can't survive. I cannot be productive without making lists. I really can't. So I figured while I'm reflecting and trying to plan, we can do it together. I did get up early on my list because I have ADD. I have to actually put that on my list. So I did. I got up early, around 5:30 actually, but that was because I had a full day of rest yesterday. I have to write on my list, shower before 9. I did that. So I'm going to give myself 2 check marks because that's awesome. Let me see. Okay, this is something I have to do. I have to iron or steam clothes. I have to measure them and take pictures. That's a big thing that I have to start doing this week. Make month ahead placeholders. I did that. I'm starting on my new in my budgeting journey. I've got a whole binder for month ahead, and I went ahead and made all of my placeholders for it yesterday. That was a good thing. I did it actually on Saturday. This was a big tip that I gave myself last week, and it worked. So what I did is I said, "Hey Siri, set timer for 30 minutes." Why isn't it working? Hey Siri, set timer for 30 minutes. Maybe it's not working because my phone's linked and I'm actually videotaping. But I would do that and say, I'm making a list right now, organized for 30 minutes. And if I just go do it for 30 minutes, then I may end up doing it for 45 minutes. It just kind of keeps me going. Paint. I started painting again last week, and that made me so happy. Paint for 30 minutes. I like to be creative, and it just helps. It helps me a lot. I'm going to clean downstairs for 30 minutes. And I'm just going to keep setting my timer. I've already got my white clothes in the wash machine this morning. That's a good thing. And make my vision board. I did that. And I don't know if you can see, but I did order a bulletin board to go behind me. And I plan on filling it up with things that are going to kind of keep me motivated and on track. So the things that I have on my vision board right now are Feedly Compound. That's something that I really want in my future. And it's doable because my husband family has a large piece of property that was passed down for 2 generations thus far. Now it's going into the third. And it's been divided up because as people die, their families get larger and larger. So my husband's inheritance is probably right close to 75 acres of land on a pond. Well, hopefully on a pond. They kind of tried to not let us get on the pond. I don't know why. Like, that all occurred after my husband passed away. Like, that would matter. He does have 5 children. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that everything's going to work out. But we want a family compound. It's a beautiful area. It's enough acreage that, my children can build. And I can have a little area. So that's what our goal is. Now, of course, the compound will never see the vision that I see for it in my lifetime. But my children have the same vision, so it can really turn into something spectacular. And when I say compound, you understand what I mean. It's going to have to be in some sort of trust, but I want a huge building with a huge kitchen. So once, on Saturdays, the whole family can get together, cousins, my children, their spouses, and just cook and hang out and let the kids play. And you don't have to worry about cleaning and organizing your own house. It's not a burden on one person. Everybody shares the burden. And then everybody lives close enough together, but far enough apart that you're not in each other's business. So you can get on your little golf cart and just travel, acres to your house. And I think each person should have probably 3 to 5 acres of land. But then I would want trails, walking trails, and things of that nature, just kind of intertwining. So when you come in on the dirt road, of course, the dirt road won't be straight, it'll be curvy. And then you might see another driveway that goes off into one of my children's homes, but you won't actually see their home, I wouldn't imagine. And, everybody still has their privacy, but everybody's going to be working together. My son already has a tractor, but we'll probably need a different type of machinery, another type of tractor. So, everybody can kind of get something but share. Or either we can all buy it together. I mean, I'm sure we're going to have some type of dues, or everybody contribute money to make it work like your own personal neighborhood, because that's what it would be. Just your family neighborhood. Of course, I would want a gate, and then we need a mail house or something at the entrance of the gate so everybody can receive their mail and packages. Anyway, it could just turn into something spectacular, something that I would like my grandchildren to grow up and experience. And I think we've gotten away from family over the course of the last few generations. And I just think it would be awesome to get back into it. Of course, the house that I would plan on building would not be huge. It would be something small just for me, one person. But, and then hopefully whenever I pass on, then it could be used just for guests, or who knows, maybe one of my children going to college, maybe one of my grandchildren, they may not want to live on campus. They just might want to live on their own. It could be a good little starter home for somebody. But there's so many things that it can benefit, because every single one of my children and their spouses have so much talent. And so one person would not have to do everything. They all bring something very important to the equation that it can be something spectacular. Just put it that way. Um, I would like in the big building, I would like there to be an area for like a garage. So the guys can change their oil. They can fix anything. Like honestly, they're really good. If I would like them to end up with a lift so they can, you know, if anybody needs to do anything, they can lift their truck, they can do whatever they need. If the tractor needs a new belt, just something, but all the tools just stay in that area. So instead of one person having to go buy everything, everybody can pull together and have their own functioning shop, you know? The same for the kitchen. Nothing leaves, it stays in the kitchen. So when you go out there to cook, everything's right there. Um, you don't, of course, you could have your own stuff at your house, your own grill, but you don't go and just borrow the grill at the community kitchen. It just stays there. And um, I just think that would be wonderful. And then I hope it happens, and I hope it happens soon, but it doesn't hurt wishing, does it? So I made a wish list. So I kind of started with that. And then I said, focus on my business, make money, because if I want this, I need to make more money than my $3,000 a month fixed income. And then build a future your family can prosper from. That's what, of course, my whole goal is. I want it to be a generational thing, so my whole family can prosper. I need to fix my house before I sell it. And so I'm going to probably have to put probably about $30,000 into this house in order to get the profit margin that I want. Save money, don't spend, so your dreams can come true. So I have to put that in my head. Like sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. That doesn't mean I can't have fun, right? I need a $20,000 emergency fund. I need to build a house. So I would imagine that might come if I sell this house. Or maybe they can coincide. Who knows? I want the community building with my family. But we need to settle the estate in order for all of this to happen. And I need 6 months ahead. And that's approximately $18,000. So I've only gotten 1 month ahead. So I'm going to work on my second month. And that's a different category than the $20,000. So I'm going to build those together. But they don't have to happen before the family compound. I just need to keep focused on all of these things. And then my main vacation that I want is I want a family mountain vacation. Probably for, I would love to do it at Christmas, and I think that would be priceless. But since we have so many children, I don't think that'll work. It could work, but I just don't think the children, yes, Santa can come definitely visit them, or they can visit their homes and bring them a little surprise in the mountains. And then when they get home, they can see that Santa came. There's so many ways you could work that. But I think primarily that Thanksgiving would be awesome. And I want a house big enough that people can actually get away from each other. I'm the type person that you can make plans, just don't make me have to want to do your plans. So if a group of people want to go do this, go do it. That should not hurt anybody else's feelings. If somebody just doesn't feel like being up in the crowd for the whole entire day, they can go do something else by themselves as a family, and it shouldn't upset anyone. Um, and then you can cook. It doesn't bother me that if some people do not want to stay in the same home as everybody else, but, come over and visit while we're there. I think that would be okay too. Maybe there's options where you have a bigger house and a few little cabins that are, a mile down the road that family members can stay in. I don't know. I just want to do that. I want to experience that. My husband was not a person that liked to go and spend the night away from home. He didn't like sleeping in other people's beds, and I don't blame him. But I don't have a problem with it. I can completely get sleep in someone else's bed. I know that sounds horrible, but I can. I can stay in hotel rooms. He could not stand it. It would drive him crazy. He just wanted to be in his own living quarters. He always, thought, oh, I don't know. We won't go there. But these are things that I've always wanted. And whether they happen or not, I can still push and dream for it, right? My life isn't over. I tend to have to keep reminding myself of that. Yes, I'm about to turn 58. 58's not old. I've got plenty of good years ahead of me, hopefully. I mean, whatever God has planned. But my children, all five of them are not on board, and I have to figure out how to address that because I'm not going to it's got to stay in the family if it's going to end up being a generational thing. But you can't make somebody participate and own something that they don't want. So I have to work out all those kinks. I've got one daughter, she's in Maine. She actually said that she would like to build a small cabin so when they do come home to visit, she has her own place. And they could do that. I have another daughter that lives here. They have an established home that they don't plan on outgrowing and moving out of, so she may not want to participate. My daughter next door, they're going to outgrow their house. That was never going to be their forever home. And so she and her husband are in. And then my son, of course, he's in. He has 5 acres that join what we call the farm. But he has a little cute house. If I could just pick the house up and move it, that would be a perfect house for me. It's got 2 bedrooms, kitchen den combo, and 1 large bathroom. But it's just he and his spouse and their baby right now, and they're gonna outgrow that. And it does have a cute little office in it. Cute. When he bought the house, he renovated it, and so he did bring it up to modern times, but it was perfect. He's got a huge outdoor living area that's covered, and so which that's great because it makes the house bigger. He's got an outdoor television, nice outdoor furniture, covered areas that you can be outside even in the summer. Huge fan that keeps you cool even in our hot summers. That house would be perfect to be able, if you could just lift it up and move, and then I could just move right in there. But it's not we were actually offered land that joins that particular parcel, but the land doesn't join, or it doesn't go up to the pond. And it's part of it's swamp, and part of it has the huge power lines that, like the huge ones that they come in and take part of your land. You can't build near them. So it just doesn't make sense that my family with children would inherit that versus the person who's already in their 80s, close, if he's not 80, close to being 80, who will never have children. You know, he has nobody to leave it to, and my husband did. I don't know if their thinking is because I inherited it now that my husband's passed, um, that I shouldn't inherit because I'm not a Jordan biologically, you know, like not biologically, but genetically. um, Biologically, I don't know. I don't know. But my children are. I don't know if they think that I would remarry and pass it along to somebody that's not in the family. I don't know what they would think. But the thing is that they never talked to me to ask. They should know me. I've been in the family for 35, 36 years. But after my husband died, there were no more discussions. So I just got a proposal and nobody sat down to even discuss anything, which kind of sucks if you want to know the truth. But it's okay. I'm going to pray about it, and God will make sure everything works out the way it should. And the original plan from my mother-in-law was that all four of her kids would get waterfront property, but they kind of took that out of the equation. And the only person that did not get waterfront property was my husband's estate. I mean, his part, because, you know, now I'm him, which doesn't sound too sweet, does it? So I'm dealing with that. That's my stress, but I'm not going to let that get to me. I'm just going to keep positive, keep my vision. Everything should be done fairly, across the board. I love my family, and I don't wish anybody any harm. I just want things to be done fairly for everybody. So what I did, and I went off on a tangent. So I made my vision board, and I did pretty good. I decided to make, like, I was creative. I made my cards not too beautiful. I didn't work too hard on them, but kind of like a junk journaling type deal. This one's pretty. I like this one a lot. Build house. Isn't that cute? I use my little washi tape and my junk journaling stuff. And it just gave me, while I was piddling and thinking, it gave me a little creative outlet that I needed. I plan on making my bulletin board cute, maybe getting some paper to go on it, and we'll just have to see how that develops. So I did do that. I also this weekend created my thank you notes. So when I package my items that I sell on eBay, I put them in plastic or the cellophane little packages, you know, like a shirt bag. You put it in, you have to order different sizes for whatever you have, but you want it to stay fresh. You don't want it exposed. And then I packaged my items nice and neat, and I put them in the bins that they go in. And so I already include my thank you note. And so what I do, and I have a cute little stamp that says Juju's eBay. So I created this on the computer, and then I handwrite the thank you note. It says, thank you so much for your order. Love, Juju. But this is a Bible verse that I love, and it came to me probably last Easter, probably about a month before Easter last year. My husband had only been dead for probably 2 months. And it says, may the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord smile down on you and be gracious to you. And may the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace. And that's Numbers 6:24 through 26. I know I've heard this Bible verse my whole entire life, but it was like I heard it for the first time And I love it. And I think every single person needs that blessing over them. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord smile down on you and be gracious to you. And may the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace. And so I printed that on the back and did it on cardstock. I made pink and blue and green. So I have these ready. That way, whenever I start to photograph today when I iron and do my measurements, and for the measurements, I created this, and it'll go in each bag. I went ahead and put my SKU, H1. I took my bin out and the missing numbers that I needed. There were a lot of them. H1, H4, H18. They just kind of scatter around. So I have those ready. I don't have to do any thinking. Then, of course, it's got the size, the item description, then the measurements, like shirt measurements, armpit to armpit, shoulder seam to bottom hem, sleeves, shoulder seam to bottom hem, and then for pants, and then for a skirt. And so now whenever I go to measure, I have my papers. I can jot that down. I bought my safety pins. They came in the mail yesterday. I don't know. I have safety pins in this house somewhere. And they're packed up from whenever I don't know. I'll find them. But whenever I get everything moved up here to my studio, they'll show up. But I have all of my safety pins ready. So when I iron today and steam and I take my measurements, I can pin this to my item. And then whenever I go to take pictures, you know, and I go ahead and take all my pictures in one setting. And then I'll package this, fold it up, put it in with its thank you card. I also put in stickers. This will go in my bag with the item. I'll have it ready. Then I will put it aside in a bin. And then I'll sit down at my computer and I will make all my listings. So that's the way it worked really good for me, because whenever my eBay business was successful, I would spend part of my time ironing and prepping all of my items. And I have a hanging rack that I hang the clothes on. And so I just go like an assembly line. You iron, you steam, you measure, you put this on, and then you hang it, right? And then it's ready for photography. Then you take pictures. Like, then the next thing that you're going to do is you might spend the next day photographing all of your items. And then you package them as you photograph them. And then you might just sit down, and you could sit down on the couch while you're watching TV, and you have your laundry basket with all of the items already packaged, and you look at the description, you know which picture it is, and you can just make your listings. And so it's kind of like you're not working at that time. You're watching TV and making your listings. And it just works so good. Instead of like taking a picture, measuring, listing, taking a picture, measuring, listing, it just worked out great. Like, I had things that, you know, if I did 20 items of ironing and taking pictures and, you know, then sitting down, you know, that evening or the next evening to make my listings, I could actually put part of them. I could schedule their listings, like where they would come out, and I would be ahead of time. So my goal was to have something, list 5 items per day. Well, if I had 20 items that I was able to get listed, I would just stagger those out. 5 items come out on Monday, 5 items come out on Tuesday, 5 items on Wednesday, And it got to a point that I was ahead of schedule. So every single day, my eBay store was, the algorithms were loving it. And so then it became where I was selling 5 to 7 items a day. And it was perfect. And so that's what I need to get my eBay store back to. If I'm going to achieve the things that I want to do in my life, I have to start working. And I prefer right now in the chapter of my life not to work outside the home. And I was very successful on accident with eBay before. And I know that, and that was just like a gig. Like I didn't even put that much effort into it. I did it when my husband was working. Now I'm by myself all day long, every weekend, and I have the opportunity to turn it into something that can sustain my livelihood. It can help me have a lot of these goals that I want to achieve. And I need to focus on that. And so that's what my goal is. I need to treat my day like a job, which is now 10:02, and I haven't really done that much. But I am. I'm going to do that right time I get off. Showered. I'm ready for the day, as ready as I'm going to get. I'm on my second cup of coffee. I've got laundry going. I loaded my dishwasher this morning. I'm well rested for the whole entire week. I don't think I'm going to get depleted. It is my birthday week, so I probably will. I'm going to spend an afternoon with my best friend, and we're going to drink toddies, so that might hinder me a little bit. I'm going to probably spend time with my aunt. That won't be anything but time, and that's fine. I need that. And then over the weekend, I will be celebrating my birthday with my children. So with all that said, I need to get busy. Like I need to work extra hard today, tomorrow, Thursday, in order to accomplish all of these things. I may actually probably spend time with my aunt on my birthday. That might be the best solution. We'll have to wait and find out. So that's what I plan to do. And I'm excited. And if I'm going to achieve any of these visions, then I need to work extra hard. And so that's what my plan is. I need to clean for 30 minutes. I need to work on eBay for 30 minutes. I know that doesn't sound like that's a lot of time, but it will be 30 minutes again later this afternoon, or 30 minutes, and then I'm going to set another timer for 30 minutes, and it's just going to roll. I've got my iPad charged, so the things I like to listen to on my iPad's ready to go. My phone is, well, it doesn't have to be charged. I'm just ready to go. And the more I do today, the better off my room is because my couch is covered with things to list. And so as I start doing all of that, it's just going to streamline. And my organization, my flow, I think I have a good place now to take photographs. I have my hanging rack. I ordered a cool one off of Temu. If you don't have a hanging rack, I mean, it'll fold up like this. It's like it'll fold up straight, and then you fold it out, but it is not going anywhere. It is so sturdy, and it expands, and you can hang clothes on both sides. It's not like the ones you bought at Walmart. I have 2 of those downstairs that more than likely when I get all of that moved, they're going to go. Bye-bye. But I'm glad I did invest in that. I have one I let my clothes hang dry I ordered one and it came in, and I have it in my garage. I have a window unit in my garage, so the garage stays cool in the summertime. And I let my clothes air dry. So when I get them out the wash machine, I put them in, hang them up. I do have a laundry room inside of my home, but my husband wanted a different wash machine. Like I have one of those nice wash machines that sensors like how much water it should put in, and it does just all this stuff, but I never really felt that it got my clothes clean. So we ordered one of those. I don't know the brand, but it's American made, and it's typically it's new, but it's made like the old-timey wash machines that don't wear out, and it has the agitator in it. And he put it in the garage. We have a sink out there too, a utility sink. And so he did. He put it there outside. He rigged it up so when the water goes out, it goes into the utility sink. And I love that wash machine. So I have a drying rack metal that I can put pants and things like that on. And then now I have the hanging rack that I just hang up. And it's perfect. And I use that wash machine all the time. The only time I use my indoor wash machine is for my quilts, because it holds, it's huge. It'll wash my quilts decent. And so that's all I use it for now. And I do try to run the indoor wash machine, at least once a month to make sure it's running properly. And the same with my dishwasher. I don't have any dishes to really warrant a dishwasher use. But I do. I try to run it once a week so everything won't dry rot. And so that's my goal. Y'all keep me accountable. And thank y'all for watching, and hit that thumbs up. We can do this. It's not, when you are living alone and you're a widow, it's okay to dream. It's okay. We're not dead. And it's okay to be happy. I know it's hard, trust me, but it's okay. It's okay to dream about a future. Right now, my future does not include trying to get remarried or anything like that. I couldn't even imagine, and it's been a year and 4 months. I can't even imagine feeling like I would want to date or get remarried. And who knows, I may never feel that way, and that's okay. But if I do, that's okay too. So wherever you are in your grieving journey, I'm down for it. Tell me how you coped. Tell me what you did. Tell me how you rebuilt your life. I want to know it. But right now, the way I plan on rebuilding is focusing on eBay, or any side hustle for that matter. I just need to make some money. Tell me how to make money, guys, without actually having to go punch a clock, because I do like spending time with my children and my grandchildren. And like I said, I can live on my $3,000 a month, but if I want to really focus on doing those other things, then I need to vamp it up a little bit. But anyway, y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all mean the world to me. Bye.